So this video was originally intended to not have any voiceover, but I ran into so many challenges that I felt some explanation of my experience would be more helpful. Over the past few weeks, I've been ordering everything that I would need to mod my drop space race. Wonderful keyboard, but the stabs were super rattly, and there was a very present ping from bottoming out. You'll hear that later. So one of the things I purchased was a lube kit that I got on Amazon. Came with a bunch of different items for a super affordable price. I figured, well, I'm just starting out, so I don't need anything too massive, but after going through this experience, only having 30 spaces for switches and for stems, it just made no sense, especially for filming, because I had switches all over the table. The kit came with this keycap puller, which I like way more than the one that comes with the space race because the wires are separated and it's easier to use. These are the rest of the items that came with the kit, so yeah, definitely a good price for all of these. Came with these 2 lube brushes, which worked fine. This switch puller, which is way better than the one that the space race comes with. These tweezers, which were useful for pulling the stabs out. This garbage keycap puller, which you should just throw out. And finally, this switch opener, which worked perfectly fine for the drop Holy Pandas. Picked up this Permatex, which seemed to be the most popular dielectric grease in the community. I wanted angled tweezers for the stab modding under the plate, so I got this kit. Needed this micro cutter for clipping the bottoms of the stabs. Love this stem thingy-majiggy. Super useful while lubing the stabs and not getting lube all over your fingers while brushing. So I ended up not using these because I want to use them on different switches that I'm going to be lubing for a different build. But hey, I got them anyway. I'm in the Mechanical Keyboards USA group on Facebook, and these came highly recommended instead of using Band-Aids, and I have to say, they worked perfectly. For the ping, I picked up the MK Ultra Foam made for the drop alt, and it lined up perfectly with the acrylic piece in my case. I don't know why, but I ended up ordering these lubes separately when I could have just ordered them from the same vendor, which makes no sense, but oh well, I got them now. So here we go.
Nope.
Now the main thing that I saw in the drop community before I picked up this keyboard and the reviews and feedback is that the alt has very, very noticeable stab rattle and shakiness. So after wiggling these things around, I realized they feel almost like when your baby teeth are loose and they're about, they're ready to go. Okay, so this part shows you how difficult it is to pull switches out of the drop alt. These things do not want to come out, and I was very gentle. I tried very hard to be gentle and wiggle it back and forth, and I still ended up snapping the tops of most of the switches. I'm gonna leave a space for silence so that you can hear how much I was struggling trying to get this out. And if you look closely here on the bottom housing of the Holy Panda that holds that tab together, it's so thin compared to a switch like the Kailhbox Navy, which is built like a tank. This is where I put the MK Ultra Foam inside of the keyboard to reduce that ping. Also never realized until recently that this keycap puller is also a screwdriver, so there you go. Now, it is a little confusing because when I purchased it, it's for the drop ball, but it comes with 3 different options, and I didn't really know what to do, and there's no instructions, but after opening up the keyboard and looking at the acrylic plate, it was pretty obvious. There's 4 ovals on the top left, right, bottom left, and right, where there are no cutouts for the foam, so I basically used the other 2 foam pieces to cut out the ovals. Switch opener worked fine, no issues there, and it looks like it works for both MX and Kailhbox types of switches. So, hilariously, this is how many switches I was able to remove without cracking or snapping the top tab. So it's around 20. Now, I did use the Permatex to lube these stabs, and I clipped the bottoms, but I ended up not recording it because it ends up, right when I was about to do it, I realized I lost my authentic cherry stabs that I ordered from Zeal PC. But I did lube and mod the originals, and to my surprise, it was still a major improvement. So these little guys are incredible. Completely did what I needed them to do. Comes in 2 different thicknesses. I purchased both. Links will be in the description, but I used the thinner ones, and they work perfect. So now for the sound comparison.